yes, I thought that topic might turn a few heads and get you all riled up. At least some of you, anyway. You listen to Boo Please here on WoW Radio with myself, Total Biscuit, and before the break we were talking about Guild Wars versus WoW, a comparison. Or at least the impression I've got from Guild Wars after one day of playing it. Now, what I'm going to say is that they're both great games, and I still play both of them. But I play them for different reasons. This is how I see myself when I have a level 20 Guild Wars character. I'm going to be playing Guild Wars for the PvP, and I'm going to be playing WoW for the PvE. That's the strengths of both games, and that is what I intend to exploit. Oh, yes. Right, okay. As for your questions, I am going to answer. Topics and questions to themurloc@gmail.com. Do it now. Right, okay. Let's see. Now, the first question I got. Andy Gambadala, also known as Prince of Magic, I believe. If you could change one thing in the game, what would it be? Or if you could have one epic item or legendary item, what would it be? Epic item, Claw of Chromagus, obviously. Or the Staff of Shadowflame. Probably Claw of Chromagus, to be honest. What would I change in the game? Well, that's a tricky one. I think it's a toss-up between character customization as far as looks goes and character customization as far as skills go. Yeah, that's actually what it would be. It would be skills. And what I would change in the game is implementing my own idea of hero classes. The idea that instead of having a linear build, you can become a hero class and it will open up a gigantic, I'm talking Guild Wars size, pool of talents. But they would not be restricted. So you could have anything in this pool of talents. And they include new abilities, buffs to stats, all that kind of thing. And depending on which ones you picked, you would refine your character. You would be named something else. So, take for example, you're a mage, yeah? You're a mage. Now, if I decide to take a lot of talents and stuff in, say, I don't know, phantasmic magic, I become a illusionist hero. Or if I take a lot of talents in fire, I could become a pyromancer. Or maybe I could do something crazy. I'll take some warrior talents. I'll become a spell warrior. Or something along those lines. So, that's what I would love to see. That was the one thing I would change in the game, is to allow progression beyond the linear talent builds and the abilities which you're given every level. And let's face it, that's how it works. You're given the abilities, you're given ranks up in the ability, you're expected to use them. They're pretty much useful, pretty much somewhere in the game. So, say, for example, Prayer of Healing is required for Veilstraz. Otherwise, you will all die horribly. You know. Shamans are required for Razor Gore to kite using Earthbind totems and all that kind of stuff. I would love to see it go beyond that into a realm of where I could actually choose what I want to play instead of being effectively given a character that progresses in a linear fashion every time. You could create 100 mages that all progress in exactly the same way. Whereas you have some customization with talent builds, I think it's too limited. I would like to see something a little bit crazier. That's my grand vision, and that's the one thing that I actually want to see. Right, I suppose I better give a shout out to Lito, because he gave me stuff in Guild Wars. He didn't give me that much stuff, he gave Angel Girl more things. So I call favoritism on that, but shout out to Lito anyway. Yeah. He's got a silly voice. You should hear what he does on Ask the Murloc later. It sounds silly. In fact, it sounds beyond silly. It was supposed to be Norwegian accent, but apparently I thought it was Welsh. I'll see what you think of that later. Anyway, back on to topic. Okay, next topic. Let's see. Okay, Minutia220, also known as Minutia from Feathermoon, the US RP server. I'm new to listen to WoW Radio, in fact, just turned it on maybe 30 minutes ago after a friend telling me about it. I'm not sure if you have talked about this, but what's your opinion on the new expansion, The Burning Crusade, for World of Warcraft? Do you think there are disadvantages? Is there things you're really excited about? Just wondering what you're expecting and what you just think about it in general. Right, okay. You see, I could talk about this for a very, very long time, and have in the past. If you were listening to the BlizzCon footage, or watching the BlizzCon footage more accurately, you would have noticed that we talked about the expansion a lot. I actually sat in front of the camera for about 3 hours speculating about it, just for the sake of it. We got all the information direct from the horse's mouth, and we just talked and talked about it. I'll try and comprise it down to something a little bit more palatable. Let's start with the good bits. What I like about the idea. Socketed items were actually the thing that excited me most. Now, some of you might think socketed items are a minor thing, but for me, socketed items open up a whole new world of character customization, and that is really important to me. That is something which has bugged me ever since I've started playing WoW, the lack of customization. Yes, indeed. Dramatic music in the background. So, that's the thing which thrills me most. The idea that I can customize my weapon to my liking, customize my armor to my liking, to fulfill a specific function, is nice. I like that idea. I'm hoping it will be a serious system, rather than just glorified enchants. I'd like to see some seriously good stuff. I'd love to see, say, powerful jewels that go in the sockets that have both advantages and disadvantages. I'd like to have to make a significant choice in the game and say, well, actually, I want this, but it's going to cause me problems in another area. So if I want to specialize for something very specific, I want to be able to do that. Hopefully socketed items will help, even in a limited perspective, get to that ultimate goal of character customization. What else is exciting me? The Caverns of Time. All new instances. And new instances always excite me, because I do love PvE content. So stuff like the Caverns of Time, where it's going to be a grand battle. You're going to be able to relive the classic battles of the Warcraft universe. Now that really does interest me, because it's something they haven't done before. It's not just another instance. Or is it? Is it effectively going to be a scripted encounter masquerading as a big fight? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? In my opinion, it's good. Because, let's face it, if you can suspend your disbelief, then you can have a lot of fun in many, many games, and WoW is one of them. So if I can suspend my disbelief that it's yet another scripted encounter in a boss fight, glorified boss fight or whatever, then I will enjoy that. Because I say, hey, this is fun, I'm taking part in a big epic battle. Yes, I did most certainly say that. So yeah, that's a good thing. What am I not looking forward to? Level 70. I'm not looking forward to level 70 for a variety of reasons. The first reason is a possible issue of class balance. That's going to throw the whole balance out of whack, unless it's done properly. That's something which is very, very important. What I'm not looking forward to is actually getting those levels. When I got to level 60, I was under the understanding that I'd done with leveling and that I could now go on to the end game content. That's what I wanted, and that's why there were times I almost quit WoW, several times in fact, during the leveling up process, because I got bored to tears with it. I really did. I hated it. Hated it with a passion, because I hate watching an XP bar slowly going up and up and up, and quests only do so much to hide that progression. Get rid of an XP bar entirely. That would be great. Just get rid of it. I don't want to see my XP at all. When I level up, yay, great. I don't want to see my XP. That would be kind of handy. But yeah, anyway, that's beside the point. That's what I'm not looking forward to. The rest of the content is pretty much standard expansion stuff. It's the stuff we expected. Socketed items I did not expect, which is why I'm excited about them. Everything else, Outlands, Outlands doesn't really thrill me all that much. It's just another area, that's fine. Other areas are good, but it's not something which excites me, whereas socketed items most certainly do. Okay, Margaret Bright Budum, also known as Rikazin. Hey TB, are you ever going to play EverQuest 2? I'm thinking of trying it. Absolutely not, because SOEs suck. They ruined the game that I loved for over a year and a half, also known as PlanetSide. They put ads in it, for God's sake. It's like, yeah, you can sign up to the almighty new conglomerate, Freedom Fighters. And we've got adverts for Diet Coke all over our main military buildings. Oh, God. Don't even get me started on the BFRs either. Oh, Lord. Yeah, that's a great idea. Give someone an armoured killing machine that they can pilot on their own and can't be destroyed by anything else other than another armoured killing machine. Who thought that would be a good idea? Oh, dear. That's just... No, horrible. Right. Okay. Chaos Smurf, also known as Chaos Emo. Oh, no. Please talk about Gnome Rugged. No. It's an interesting instance the first time you go through it, but it's overly difficult, it's too long, and the items you get in it aren't as good as they should be. It's just the Twisted Vision of Hell, yeah. But it's not as bad as Lower Blackrock Spire, let's face it. Okay. Get your questions in to themurloc@gmail.com. That is themurloc@gmail.com. Now, I've got quite a few questions about the honour system, and mainly, has to be said, going about DKs. Is the honour system balanced or trash? A guy called Besk wrote in and said, I was right at the crossroads with my rogue and a lot of other friends, and it happened that someone killed a civilian. The group got really mad and kicked him out. I think the honour system is flawed because some moron in your party kills a civilian or a hapless caster AoEs the hell out of a civilian by accident. I think it's flawed and should be removed or fixed. I would like to hear your side of the honour system. I must agree. It's not the honour system that sucks, it's the dishonour system. The dishonour system is stupid. It's retarded. It serves no practical purpose. Now, when we first started the game, I was aware that if you were to kill a quest NPC, they would respawn really, really fast, and they don't drop anything worth having, so there's no point in killing them anyway. So, isn't that enough discouragement? You know, let's face it, that's the only good reason for DKs to be there. Because, I walk into, say... I remember a time I walked into Ghostwalker Post, and my quest NPC was dead, and I thought, oh dear. But 30 seconds later it would respawn, so it didn't really make a difference. So, effectively, the DK system is catering to very impatient people, and in return has completely destroyed any form of town or city raiding that there was in the game, because inevitably, someone is going to hit a civilian, and when they do, you lose a whole bunch of honour. But you don't lose honour for killing a level 10. Okay, well, it has to be said, whoever thought of that one was obviously fell off the logic wagon. That is just incredibly stupid, has to be said. I don't like it. I really don't. If you're going to make a dishonour system, then enable it into PvP and put some effort into it. Create a gigantic formula that takes into account all sorts of things like how many friendlies are in the proximity, the level of your equipment, the level of your character, the level of the health that the player was on, whether or not he was fighting a mob, and then you can calculate whether or not the kill was dishonourable. Sure, there might be a few quirks in the system, but it's better than destroying an entire hobby, and that's effectively what it is. I remember I used to go city raiding, I used to go village raiding, I would actually organise it. I'd do it for fun. I can't do it now because no one will come. Or I might get a DK, I'll lose a rank. Oh, well, that's really sensible. Thanks for that. Great. Yeah, that needs sorting. I have to agree with the sentiments of Besk there that the honour or dishonour system is absolutely atrocious and serves no practical purpose. Oh, yes. You listen to Blue Please here on WoW Radio. I think it's time for a bit of soil work. There's always time for a bit of soil work on my show. The name of this track is Overload. Enjoy.